Hey guys, welcome back. Today's guest is a Canadian athlete, Kayti Simonson. She raced in the Elite 15 doubles at Worlds with Kris Rugloski and represented Canada in the relay. So she had a big weekend in Chicago. Off the course, she's a lawyer and a public speaker and balancing a demanding career with elite competition. She also runs a book club on Instagram, which we think is just an awesome idea. We've been watching and following. And yeah, we can't wait to get into this one to find out more about you and also how, yeah, you juggle everyday life with competing as an elite performer. So thank you for joining us on the podcast, Katy.
Thank you for having me.
Oh yeah, no, it's so good to speak to someone in Canada. We've had Maria on the podcast, but it's cool to touch base with athletes all over the world. Um, how how is training and life at the moment? Because we're just kind of approaching the next HYROX season. And Faye mentioned obviously you had a big weekend in Chicago for the World Champs. Are you sticking with HYROX racing and training at the moment, or have you been taking on any challenges in the off season?
The off season's been great. I've spent basically the whole summer hiking and mountain biking, which
Oh,
I mean, how do you beat that? It's been fantastic. I touched a wall ball yesterday for the first time since Worlds. That was great. So, yeah, High Rocks is going to be the focus this year for sure. I might jump into some other competitions just for fun, but now that all the competitions are kicking off in a couple weeks, it will be more High Rock specific training for sure.
Yeah, yeah,
Probably
nice.
should catch a sled as well.
yeah, yeah. Now time to get back to the burpees, the sleds, and the wobbles. Not as fun as smashing down on a mountain bike down some Canadian trails. Have you been riding
Oh
in,
yeah,
been
the
mostly in
mountains are
Canada?
unbelievable.
Yeah, yeah, nice. And HYROX is quite a new sport for you. Last season was your first season, is that right?
Last season was my, I'll say, second and a half season.
Okay.
But honestly, so I've been doing this for what, 2.5 years now. It's only starting now to feel not like a brand new sport to
Mm.
me. Like I'm only now starting to feel like I'm not a fish out of water, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because did you do the first one in Canada, the first race that was over in Canada, or have you been mostly racing in North America or?
Mostly in the States.
Mm.
And then there was a few races in Europe that I popped over to do. Um, yeah, I've kind of bounced around all over the place. It's just I mean, learning how to train for endurance running it's a whole animal and like you can read stuff online, you can research it, but until you actually start doing it, it's yeah, it's an adjustment for sure.
Yeah, yeah. No, definitely. And then what was your kind of background before you started entering into the HYROX hybrid world? What kind of sport focus or training were you doing prior?
So I was a 400 hurdler growing up, and then I was a 400
Nice.
hurdler in college. After undergrad, I played soccer in grad school and then also law school. So those were for sure my biggest focus. I dabbled in CrossFit competitively for a few years, which was a lot of fun. But once I got into law school, I was like, this is too much. This is a lot. And then all competitive anything kind of it's not that it was like I put it on the back burner. It's that I was like, oh, okay, like I'm now done law school and I need to have a job and be a grown up and all that. So I'm not going to be competing anymore. So I kind of told myself for all intents and purposes I was retired. And then, yeah, just because, right? I mean, it's almost like a societal construct. And then, as COVID kind of came to an end, I was like, I need to do something. Like
Mm.
I'm going stir crazy and I feel mentally soft. I need to go do hard things again. So, cue, hi, rocks.
Yeah. That's crazy. I mean, like 400 hurdles. I mean, like we talk a lot about mental strength and mental prep in high rocks and just getting through tough time. I can't imagine like lining up for 400-meter rate, which is like 400 meters around the tracks as fast as you can, just hurts. But then also adding some hurdles in and making sure you don't land flat on your face. Like you must have some mental aptitude to stand on a start line for that race.
It is totally the most masochistic event. Like it's a full sprint. You can't hold back.
Yeah.
Like it's less than a minute long, but it is, oh my God, it's so painful. And I've fallen in a race before. I like coming all the way around on the last 100-meter stretch, it was going so well. And then I hooked my foot on the hurdle and just like ate it. It was so bad. I'd like crack embedded into my arms. Oh my. And of course, my coach is like so stoked to get a picture of me racing. He's standing at that hurdle. So I have like snapshots of me eating shit over yeah, that was perfect timing.
Wow. I mean, I'm just going back to school thinking when we had to run 400 meters and it was like the most painful like distance, I think. Like you said, you have to just go full on, but I can't even imagine adding some hurdles into it.
I
No.
mean, it could be fun.
No, I've definitely
No?
not got that.
Okay.
I'm too, no, no way.
So then you touched on there that I mean that's a short distance, a short, sharp, fast race, less than a minute. Also, a lot of CrossFit style workouts are usually the like kind of 10, 15 minutes. You don't often get like a longer workout. How have you found the change to then competing in HYROX, a longer, more endurance event?
I've had to develop a lot of patience, which is not always the easiest thing. I'm not a super patient person, but I guess I'm learning to be because especially like with the easy runs, which are so important that, okay, you can't be going fast. Like you need to actually chill and go really slow. And you're like, okay, this is going to take me so much longer because I need to plod along and keep my heart rate down. And you're like, come on. But I found almost like a kind of meditation in it, which has been really
Mm.
cool, which I never expected. That surprised me a ton. So half the time I run, I mean, I guess I'm usually listening to an audiobook, but a lot of the time now I won't listen to anything and kind of
Mm.
just get into like that meditative state where you're just cruising. And that's been really cool.
Mm.
Yeah, it's a totally different kind of training, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
My body's taken a hot minute to adjust for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So did you do what was the furthest distance you ran before you started training for HYROX? Have you ever run like a 10K or a half marathon or like did you just literally go into HYROX and that was the first time you'd run 8K or
The furthest I'd run was 800 meters.
okay, yeah, so yeah.
Oh, 10K like is hysterical to me. I get asked actually quite a bit over the last month. I've been asked, what's my 5K time? What's my 10K time?
Yeah.
I have no idea. I've never run one.
No, and like you hadn't even run a K, which is like one lap. So the first lap was probably the furthest you'd ever run in your first HYROX.
I was so in over my head. I was like, I have a running background. How hard can it be? Oh my God, that first race, I questioned my sanity so many times. I also thought I was going to cry so many times. Like, why am I still running?
It is like an emotional roller coaster, I think. And I do think just the way it's like set out when people read the format and it's because it just says 1K, you don't really realize you're going to be running well over 8K with the rock zone and everything. It's like it is a large amount of running, like 50%.
Oh, it's hilarious. It's so deceiving. You're like, oh, 1K at a time. Kilometers not that far. Kilometers really far. It's far. Yeah.
Yeah, it's decent. It's decent when you're hurting. And so would you say you're more suited to doubles rather than singles, which becomes a lot more of an endurance event, I guess, because like doubles you can kind of put in a higher intensity and get the break, the rest and recover. And you must be quite good at your recovery must be pretty quick. I'm guessing if you're like your background and what you've done, you can probably recover quickly. So we know you're a
Yeah.
very good doubles racer, but you're also a very good singles HYROX racer. So do you think you suit one more than the other, or is the one that you want to go and pursue more than the other, or?
I think that my background lends me to doubles to be stronger in that because, yeah, my recovery is awesome, which is really, really
Mm,
cool. But I almost need to train in such a way that if I wanted to do really well at an indie race, I could because you
mm,
just like you need to be able to run as fast and hold up everything. I, as of right now, enjoy doubles more. It's just it's a different race. And I think it's so cool and it's so much fun. And I'm having like the time of my life racing with Kris has just been awesome. I don't I don't know if I'll even run an indie race this year. We'll see.
mm.
Might throw one in as like a Hail Mary just for fun. But Training for doubles, yeah, I think that it's a little bit of a different shift. Everyone's like, oh, it's still threshold. I'm like, is it though? Is
Mm.
it? I don't know. So I think that with my background and with what I'm enjoying, doubles will be the focus.
Yeah, yeah, because I think you can throw yourself deeper into the red, like into the hurt locker with doubles, knowing you in a second you're gonna have time to like recover, and
Exactly.
you obviously have the ability to suffer, like doing the 400s, which I think is such a if you can suffer and then get your energy back and then go again, and with a CrossFit background as well, I'd say probably does suit you pretty well.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah, being able to suffer, I think, is the most important thing. And
Mm.
it's honestly sometimes it's kind of fun. You're like, this hurts so much, but oh my God, I'm still moving.
Mm.
Like, this is so cool. Look at what my body's doing. This is mind-blowing to me. And that almost is like a out-of-body experience that I think is just awesome in
Yeah.
a masochistic way again, I suppose.
Slightly. And how did the pairing come about with you and Kris? Well, who dragged who into it, or who signed up for the first race? How did it happen?
So Chris and I became friends at Manchester Worlds. That was like my first couple months into HYROX. And then our paths just kept crossing, and we have a lot in common as people. I think that we started bonding over books,
Mm.
which of course, and then mountains and hiking, like Chris just lives to be in the mountains. And when the doubles, elite doubles got announced, it was like, well, we
Why
have to
not?
do this, obviously. It just, I don't even remember what the conversation was. It just fell into place so seamlessly. And it was like,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, duh. Like, of course, this is the plan. Like, we just knew it without knowing it. I don't know. It was cool.
It's good.
Yeah.
You need to be, you kind of almost need that to be in sync with your doubles partner as well. So you kind of need to find someone that you both feel like, yeah, you can read each other and you know what each other are doing just to make the partnership seamless, like you said.
Oh, totally. I think that that's been really special for us because like you can kind of go off each other's just energy and vibe, which is really, really
Mm.
cool. And after spending, an entire weekend in the mountains in the backcountry, like just I feel like you just build an even better bond. So I'm really
Yeah.
stoked to see kind of what this season plays out and how we can really maximize what we're capable of and complementing each other in this race.
Mm.
Yeah, absolutely. That was going to be my next kind of question was, what do you feel like you learned from like Chicago and the Elite 15 doubles race? Because obviously that was the first time that there was a race like that they had all the pairs like racing head to head. How did you feel like you guys went, and what were the biggest takeaways from that going into now next season, where we're going to see that at every major and then again at the World Champs? So there's going to be lots more of the doubles racing in that style.
So Chicago went well. Like we did well, but Chicago was really frustrating for me because we raced the relay the night before. And I don't know what I did, but I jacked up my back. And
Oh,
so as
no.
soon as we started running in the doubles race, like halfway through the first kilometer, my lower back just went like locked and my IT bands just went with it and I couldn't open up my stride. And I was like, what is happening? I was so frustrated. And like Chris and I are talking on the run, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. And she's like telling, kind of giving me advice to try and loosen it up. And it just like, there's only so much you can do. It
Mm.
wasn't until the last two runs that it loosened up and we were able to really cruise and flow. And I'm like, man, like, we should, I felt really bad after actually. I cried. It was great. Um, because I know we had so much more we were capable of and we could have done so much better. I couldn't open up on the run.
Mm.
Yeah, so I think this season, um, maybe don't race the night before. But I'm really, really stoked for us because I think that we just have so much potential to do awesome. And yeah, just approach things kind of in a different way because I won't jack up my back the night before. And Chris will
Mm.
be healthy and hopefully all things will be good.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you did do really well, and considering you're just saying like, yeah, you were held back, it is quite exciting, I think, sometimes to then go into the next race knowing you've got more to give and you're actually right up there as well.
Totally.
Yeah, it's sometimes like it's not bad. I know it's bad at the time and it's awful. I think the pressure, and you've just hit the nail on the head, the pressure of running a race, and if one of you isn't at their best, it's quite hard to get both people at the best at the same time, and you either feel like you've let the other person down or you want to give more and you just sometimes can't give more. It's probably
Yeah, it's
one of the
hard.
one of the things of double racing, that to get both of you feeling great on the same day is, for one person to have a good day is hard. For two people to both be at the top of their game on a certain day is hard.
Yeah.
Oh, totally. Because if one person feels even like 10%
Mm.
worse than they normally would, then that is such an impact on a race, especially a race that's, under an hour. It's still a really long race, so that's huge. I mean, oh my God. So when Chris and I raced Miami, I didn't know it at the time. I didn't find out till afterwards. I just felt terrible, like absolutely awful. I was seeing spots in warm up. I was stressed to the nines. I ended up having like I had blood poisoning. I didn't know it, but that's why I felt terrible. Yeah, it was super fun. Don't do it. And in warm up, I was like, Chris, I don't know what to do. Like I'm seeing spots. I'm really stressed. I don't want to let you down in this race. I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to finish. Like I was not okay. And she was like, hey, it's all good. Whatever happens is whatever happens. We're going to do our best, and the results will be what they are. We can't control that. And I was like, okay, thank you. I love you. Thank you. Like I was just in such a distraught state. And it ended up going really well, thankfully. But I think having a partner that pushes you because they know you can do well, they want to do well, but isn't like, this is the end of the world, this is our identity, this is the like everything revolves around the success of this race. I think having that is really important. Otherwise, oh God, HYROX can be a very mean place to you mentally if you let it be.
Yeah, yeah, no, I think it's so true. Like not having that result as your identity is such an important message because things happen and like ups and downs of a season. You know, you can, I mean, look at Linda Meyer, the start of her season last year, she was having a really rough time and then she ended up becoming world champion. You know, every race is different, every circumstance is different. Like you I guess you have to just take each one as it comes, do your best, like you said, you show up for each other, and the outcome is what it is, and that's the most important, is that you, yeah, and especially in a team, that you support each other and enjoy it. Like that's the whole point, isn't it? To go out there and enjoy the race and enjoy the sport. Um, like not, yeah, not let the pressure get too much. But how do you juggle everything? Because you're obviously a very busy person. You have a high pressured job as well. You know, you're doing a lot. Do you find the training a release, or how does kind of your work training life balance work out?
So the training definitely keeps me sane. I find if I sit at my computer for too long, I start to get really ornery and I'm like, I need to go for a walk or something, or go train. I'm very, so I've been doing balancing, I guess, work and athletics since I was like 13. Whether it was school and I competed on every single team in high school, and then I also ran track outside with a club. So my life has just been very busy for as long as I can remember. The difference now, I think, is that I have so much more autonomy and responsibility. So I can't blame anything on anyone else when it comes to like scheduling and management. But I think it's a combination of being really aware of what your capacity is that day or that week or that month, because it's so easy to bite off more than you can chew, which sometimes is a good thing. Like sometimes you got to do that in order to kind of move yourself forward and progress. But if you're just like reaching burnout regularly, or you're not conscientious of potentially reaching burnout, then you're not able to show up as your best self in anything you're doing. So that's one piece. The other piece is surrounding yourself with people that believe in you and are supportive of you, which is easier said than done. I think for a lot of us, we don't realize how difficult it is to find people that genuinely want what's best for you and see the potential in you and are stoked and help you get there even if you're not always feeling the best yourself. So I have my boss at my firm is amazing. She's the best. She's brilliant, but she's also super empathetic. And when she talks to me, I'm not like another little robot lawyer minion, you know what I mean? She talked to me like I'm a human, so I can actually be honest about what's going on with me in my life, and you form a much better relationship. So that's been huge. And then having family and friends that are like, no, this is a great thing. What you're doing is awesome. There isn't timelines that you need to follow in life or social constructs you need to abide by. You can do whatever you want, however you want, if you can keep your feet on the ground. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think it's so true. And it's like, yeah, the pressure sometimes of society makes people think they should be doing something by a certain age or have something or, yeah, following a certain path, which is, yeah, everything and everyone's journey is different. And as long as you're not hurting anyone and you're doing what's right for you, then yeah, you're 100% right. And supportive people are really important. You're talking about your work and your family and friends, and we're aware that like HYROX probably isn't massive in Canada, but do people actually understand what you're racing in?
I get asked what HYROX is a lot, and I have to
Yeah.
explain what this is a lot. It's starting to pick up steam in Canada, but more often than not, people have no idea and they don't understand, I guess, the demands of it. I think because a smaller portion of the population competes at a high level in any type of sport, not just HYROX. It's difficult to understand the demands of what a person is putting themselves through and committing to in training. So it's not even just that a lot of people don't understand the race, it's that they don't understand the commitment of training and nutrition and sleep and sacrifice. And I find, I guess for me, that's the biggest thing. That's kind of that missing link when people are like, "Oh, cool, you race." Okay.
Yeah.
That I find is where people just don't really understand.
Yeah, yeah, no, that makes sense. And most of your racing, like you said, you've kind of been in the States or you've gone over to Europe a little bit. Like, how do you find the nutrition, sleep, travel when you are going abroad and not racing like in your home country? In the UK, you're quite lucky. There's quite a few races around about. Same with Europe, it's probably not as many. Like as much travel and disruption to people's lives as kind of going further afield. Have you got any secret tips or hacks that you use for when you're traveling and racing?
So I try and keep my diet really simple when I'm traveling for races. Like I'm not trying anything new until well after the race. Yeah, it's like as simple as possible. It's bread and rice and bananas and milk. Like I don't want to screw with anything, especially because I've had stomach issues in the past. Sleep is a hard one for me because when I get excited, like not even anxious or stressed, when I get excited, I don't sleep well. And if you've got like a bunch of cool things going on in life, or you're like stoked about your race, man, now how am I supposed to sleep? So, um, I really, I saw something on Instagram. The psychologist was like, here's what you do. You need to make your brain bored. And I'm like, great. How am I supposed to do that? She's like, pick a word, like potato, and then list out while you're trying to fall asleep, 3 words that start with the letter P, then 3 words that start with the letter O, then 3 words that start with the letter T, and go through it. And it's so boring that your brain will start to like shut off and be distracted from whatever you're like stoked or stressed about. And so that's my hack because that's what I've been doing.
Best
Funny enough, we've
answer.
not had that one before.
It's so random. It's like one of the positive things about Instagram is seeing random stuff like that.
So it actually worked. Did it
Yes, it
work?
works. It's
Oh well.
so bizarre.
It's so good. I mean, that has caught me off guard. I didn't expect that as a tip. But yeah, makes sense. Right.
I mean, you have to, I mean, sometimes you don't have to sleep. The night before Miami, I was so sick and I'm dying. And I got to our hotel earlier than Kristen and I'm trying to sleep. And I'm like, okay, you've got to race tomorrow. You need to get a good night's sleep. Chris gets into her room at midnight-ish. Her flights were delayed. And she's just like, ready to talk. Like she is just a little bat out of hell. And I'm like, what is that? I'm like half
Oh my God,
asleep, trying to be like, yeah, totally. Anyways, it's like 1 o'clock in the morning and she's going off about math. I don't know like why she's upset about math or she's like has it against math, but it's 1 a.m. and she's just going off about math. So it was so funny. I couldn't even be upset. Like I was cackling. It was so random. I'm like half asleep laughing and she's just like going off. So some days you're just not going to get a lot of sleep and it just is what it is.
if you room share with Kris, you're just not going to get the sleep.
The
Yeah.
adrenaline gets you through. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, and it does, doesn't it? Like, but you guys, so do you get the chance to train together much? Because you don't live in the same place, do you? You don't.
Yeah, I'll fly down there. She'll fly up here.
Oh,
Her
cool.
boyfriend lives here, which is really helpful. So she comes
Ah,
up here more often than not. Yeah, and we just figure it out. Denver's really easy to get to. It's like a 2-hour flight.
okay. Oh,
Yeah,
that's quite cool then, because yeah, if you're gonna compete, I guess this year a little bit more regularly at a higher level in the doubles, you kind of want to be able to train together as well as train alone, I guess.
totally.
Yeah. And do you train at home, or do you have a gym set up that you go to, or?
Everything. I have two gyms actually. I've got my main gym, which is big and has the sleds and all the equipment and all of the things. Then I've got a little gym down the street, which I just use for like a treadmill if I need it.
Mm.
Then I have a bike in my office. That's not really my office. I've got dumbbells, kettlebells. I have access to everything. I keep stuff in the back of my car because sometimes you just don't know like how much time you're going to have, and this is a workout you got to hit. So I try and have as much accessibility to training as possible.
Yeah, I mean, you make it like make your life as easy as possible so that when
Yeah.
you get the opportunity, you can do it. And then, how about anything for yourself as a female athlete? Like, is there any specific supplements or nutrition or anything you do like specifically for training at a high level as a female or competing when you go to races that things you use or tips and tricks?
Yeah, so I take 10 milligrams of creatine a day. I know most people take 5, but I find that 10 is actually so much better because with the like I'm training, but I'm also using my brain a lot for work. And ever since I upped my dose to 10, my mental clarity's been a lot better. And I've just felt better. So yeah, I take a double dose of creatine every day, usually one in the morning, the one after a hard session. And then I take iron for sure because I find that most people generally are iron deficient, and I take magnesium like crack. Like I think it's like the best mineral, vitamin, supplement, whatever. I take like 3 different types of magnesium, and I swear as soon as I stop taking it, like I get headaches and I feel lethargic. So, oh my God, magnesium is your best friend. They can't live without it, literally. I have like one of those, I don't want to insult them, but like old people vitamin containers,
Yeah, yeah, like
like
the days.
fill up when I travel, and I carry that around with me, and I'm like, it's fine, no matter what, I'm covered.
So many people do that now though as well. Like we did that for
Yeah,
a bit, didn't we? Just to
yeah.
make sure you take them and you're like, yeah, did I take them today? Oh no, Tuesday's still full.
Yeah.
See? The other one I find really beneficial, I think people don't realize it contributes to maintaining your muscle mass, is vitamin C.
Okay.
Okay.
So I take a high dose of vitamin C every single day and vitamin D every single day, regardless of if I feel good or if I'm outside.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's great. And then, and did you learn that from like your background as, of being an athlete, or is this just self-taught, or just how you feel and you've just experimented with it?
Kind of a combination of everything. I am very reluctant to believe anything I see on the internet.
Yeah.
So it's like you can scroll through Instagram and find two people that are qualified in their field that completely contradict each other, right? So it's been a little bit of experimentation and also kind of deep diving into every type of book or article or research paper for something of how and why this might be more beneficial than something else.
Mm. And then at the end of the day, I guess, like you said, you can just feel it. Like if you don't take the creatine, you feel it, and if you don't have the magnesium, you feel it. And I think sometimes it is that kind of, yeah, your own. You're your best experiment, aren't you?
Yeah, well, I think the other piece of it is learning to be really in tune with your body.
Mm.
Like, I feel that so many people are disconnected from their bodies. I don't like almost like an energetic way that they don't feel when something feels off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whether it's physically or mentally or emotionally. So if you really want to know what's impacting you based on like supplements or food or Christ, interactions with people, anything, I feel like you really need to get in tune with, I guess, your inner self. I don't know how else to explain it.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah, it is super important. I think a lot of times, like, I guess because we live in such a world of like social media and being on phones and internet, like a lot of people let other people tell them what they should be doing or how they feel or if this happens. But like you said, if you take it back down to the roots of it, it's how you feel day to day. And if you can get in tune with yourself and yeah, work out what you need as an individual, because everyone's different. Even females are different. There's obviously some things that we all need a lot more than the guys do, but yeah, some people might, like for example, you need more iron than I do, and
Yeah.
I can tell, like you definitely can tell that you're more deficient at certain times because you get so much more fatigued. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's just being in tune with yourself, isn't it? And maybe
Yeah,
learning
and
from
not
other
seeing
people,
it
but
as a negative. Like, I think sometimes people think like, I
like
don't know when
weakness or
it's weak. Yeah, people think it's like a weakness, or same with like kind of fueling. People think like sometimes, I don't know, if you take a gel, it's like a weakness and you need the energy, but that's not the case. It's like you're fueling your body, you're supplementing your body. Like some people just need more of some stuff than other people. Like it's a positive thing if you can help your body perform at its best.
Yeah, absolutely. Why would you try and make it seem like you can do something without something? I mean, we're all doing things that are really challenging. So could we get through it without X, Y, or Z? Yeah, totally, because we're good at pushing ourselves and doing hard things. But why would you make your life more difficult than it needs to be? That's just
yeah,
silly.
that's nail on the head. It is so true, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah,
Like
for
help
sure.
yourself out, definitely. And
Yeah.
do you do anything for recovery? Anything specific? I know you talked about magnesium and like supplementation, but is there anything specific you do for recovery between or after sessions or hard races?
Yeah, I double dose all of my vitamins. I try and get in a ton of protein. Like I eat
Mm.
probably 180, 200 grams of protein a day. Um, and I massage gun every single day, like full body every single day, no matter what. And honestly, if I didn't do that, like I don't know how my muscles would function. It's
Oh,
just,
especially after wall balls. I
yeah.
bet you've done it after your first set of wall balls back. Get rid of those DOMs. No, that I mean, I think people skip that sort of thing though, like because
Yeah.
it's time, isn't it? And people kind of think, oh, I'll do it later, and then they don't do it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I literally have my massage gun sitting beside my bed, and before I go to sleep, I'm like, okay, just 15 minutes of this. It's gonna be fine. It's not hard. And I just, yeah, feel so much better. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
that's so true. I mean, I can be really guilty of it. Like,
yeah.
and then I start to feel like maybe I niggle or something, and I get really good at it, and then I feel good again, so I stop. And I'm sure that's what most people do, but yeah,
Yeah.
need to be a bit better at doing that, I think.
So have you got a race in the calendar? First race back, like for the season?
Yes. So if we get into Hamburg, we'll for sure race that,
Yeah.
um, which would be awesome. And then
Mm.
we'll probably race Atlanta, maybe Chicago. And
Okay.
then if we get into what's the Australian, Melbourne?
Melbourne,
Melbourne.
yeah, in
Yeah,
December.
that'll be kind of dependent on like timing of flights and stuff. Australia's really far.
Yeah, I know.
So hopefully Australia, and then we'll race Vancouver for sure because that's so convenient for both of us.
Yeah, fair. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
that's
cool. And then, so when do you find out about Hamburg? Are they setting it like a week before or 2 weeks before?
29th of Sep I think it was, or 22nd of September, I think it was.
That they
Yeah,
set the
it's 2 weeks,
2 weeks.
but like if you're waiting for a roll down, then it could be up to like a day before. I know after Hamburg, they're changing it to 21 days. So
Okay.
Thought I saw
hopefully
it was
that'll help.
longer.
Yeah, I mean, it's still not perfect, but it's definitely
Mm.
better because you're asking these athletes to plan their time around potentially traveling, and the costs associated are very high, and it's just the last minute's really difficult. If you do or don't race, you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
Yeah,
especially
and
if
you
you're trying to get to Melbourne, like from, you're trying to get to Australia, and for the Australian athletes trying to get to Europe or America, it's
totally.
yeah, and planning your season as well. Like, do you have kind of, I mean, I guess it's probably quite a hard question, but there's a fine line between racing all the time and racing enough and like being able to, I mean, you don't get a huge amount of choice how spread out your races are because of location, etc. But is there like a rough timeline that you try and do like every 6 weeks or no more than however many races in this period of time, or do you just kind of see what happens?
Yeah, I mean, you're so right. It's really difficult figuring out which races to do because if you don't have a great race, you're like, well, I have to race again because I need to hit a fast time. And then you're like, do I race again in a week? Because then I just have a deload and I don't need to kind of structure my training too much. And I can just have like, I can do like a block after that. Or do I wait 6 weeks so I'm more fresh and ready to go and do a little training block? It's tricky for sure. I think that I think that we will race Atlanta and then we'll race Chicago depending on how Atlanta goes.
Mm.
So if we don't need to race, I think we err on the side of not doing it. Like I understand that you can't mimic a race environment in training. Like your output's just never going to be the same. But that's where I find it's really easy to get burnt out and just fry your nervous system if you're constantly traveling and racing. Like people really underestimate how much traveling itself takes it out of you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh
So
man, totally does,
Yeah.
doesn't it? Like even just like the fatigue, time zones, dehydration, like eating different foods, like everything just
totally.
dragging your bag around the airport, missing your transfer,
Yeah.
sitting on a squished up seat. Yeah.
Well, I was supposed to race OCR Worlds this week. Like I was supposed to fly out
Oh
to Sweden
wow.
yesterday. And I mean, I competed at Rally in the Valley last week and I rolled my ankle, so my ankle's still not great. And I didn't want to potentially like put myself out for a couple more weeks racing on it. But in looking at the travel, which would be like a 10-hour travel day and the time zones, then coming back and then potentially having to fly back to Europe 2 weeks later, like this is one of those situations where you're like, oh, this is awesome. This is a great opportunity. This would be very cool. But you really need to weigh your priorities because you can do it all. You just can't do it all at the same time.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. Really
Yeah, and
good point.
sometimes you do have to double down on something and go for like just one thing. I guess like a lot of people can be, yeah, can if you're quite a good athlete and there's a lot of hybrid events coming out now and there's like OCR and people are quite good at running and then there's all these events popping up, everyone's trying to do everything, but do you just like double down on something like you said, HYROX this year? You're going to double down on that, and then are you more likely to do better because you'll give yourself the training blocks and the recovery and the deload and you'll have the specific races, or do you try and do every race and do all right and maybe risk burnout? I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, me a couple years ago would be like, hell yeah, do everything.
Yeah, yeah.
Everything. But now no. I mean, it's because racing's so fun and competing's so fun. Like I got asked to do this Lifetime. I don't know if y'all saw it, competition. It's in October in Minnesota, and it's like HYROX, but more CrossFit-y. It's gnarly. Like so it starts with like a 1K run and then the running distances progressively get shorter, but there's so much volume for deadlifts, box jumps, med balls stuff. It's
Wow.
bananas. And it's like this would be really fun, but if you do too much, like you're either going to risk injury or you're just going to kick the shit out of your body. So for me, it's no longer about doing it all just because it's fun and cool and awesome. Um, it's about being selective. Otherwise,
Mm.
like, dude, you still have to balance the rest of your life. You have a social life, you've got stresses there, you've got your work, which is stressful. Like, your body doesn't understand stress in the sense of mental and physical stress. It just understands stress, full stop. So if you're really stressed in one aspect of your life, it's going to affect everything else. So if you're taking on too much, your body's going to be like, ah, what's happening? And that's when stuff gets gnarly.
Yeah.
And then you go through in a 5K PB, and the next weekend a competition, and then the next weekend you fly to Europe to do a HYROX, and your body's just like, wow.
Yeah.
Body's like, no, go lay down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me
Go
a
Netflix
rest.
and chill.
Yeah, for God's sake. And do you have a coach, or do you coach yourself, or how does your kind of programming training work?
So I've been a little bit all over the place, and I think part of that's been trying to learn the best way to navigate training for endurance running with a strength component. Because I think if you just want to run like a marathon, it's going to be very different training than what we do for HYROX. Or maybe it's not. I don't know. Don't come at me. So I've been kind of all over the place with coaches trying to figure out what their best practice is, I guess. And so I spent the summer just very much doing my own thing. I'd do 2 quality days a week, and then everything else would be like zone 1, zone 2 with a couple weight sessions. I really like a lot of strongman work. I think that it's really beneficial for building like overall strength, posterior chain. So think like yokes and sandbags. Um, but I will, now that we're back in season, be working with a coach again for that structure. And especially because when you're in season, I feel like as an athlete, it's really difficult to train or to, I guess, program your blocks yourself, and then also factor in the racing and your work and stuff. So to be able to take programming off my plate is really nice. It's easy in the summer because I can do whatever I want, but now that you're back in season, like I don't want to have to think about every little component, whether I'm doing like a threshold block or a VO2 block or something like that.
Yeah, yeah, you can just turn up, like tick the boxes, kind of not have to use your brain for that side of it, and just know that like you're getting the work done and you're building towards whichever race and like tapering correctly, etc., etc.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And do you think it's important for people to have an off season? Like you said, you obviously love being in the mountains, being outdoors, exactly like we are exactly the same. If you can go out on a mountain bike or go and run in the trails. Do you think it's important to have that as well, and not just go from Worlds, get straight back into like training in the gym, and then you're ready to go for Hamburg, say if that comes up as an opportunity? Do you think you being on the mountain bike and in the trails and in the mountains has given you like revitalized you, ready to get back to HYROX training?
Oh yeah, I think an off season is so important. Like take a couple months of not competing at all, because I think it's really easy if you're competing a lot, your body almost gets in like an adrenaline survival state, and you just kind of like move from adrenaline piece to adrenaline piece, so your cortisol never actually comes down. So take a couple months of not competing and just train and enjoy it and enjoy your life and not being stressed about races, even if you enjoy doing them. Um, because it's not just about kind of having that time to enjoy chilling, I guess, if you want to say it that way. It's also about giving your body an opportunity to regulate itself. Because when you're competing all the time, like your body's dysregulated. It just is what it is. That's what happens when you put yourself in a high stress situation. Your body's like, am I dying? I don't know, maybe, but I have to make sure we survive and stay alive. Like that's what your body thinks. So I think that the off season is way more important than most people give it credit for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
it
I think
does.
it's cool. And then linked into that, I guess, just having the opportunity to switch off and step away from the competition, the training, the pressure. Like we obviously mentioned the book club. Like you've obviously got passions outside of just training. You've got a very busy, high like energy job, but you've also set up this book club. You talk to us a bit more about that, because I thought it was quite cool. You don't see it really that much anymore. It used to be a thing, book clubs, I guess, and
Yeah.
I guess people do them locally and stuff. But you've started one on Instagram, and yeah, then I started stalking it to see if there was another good book, because I usually ask Emma's sister about a good book, and then the last time I asked, I bought it, and then I got home and realized I'd read it. So I'm always up for recommendations.
Okay, yeah. So book club is something that I just never expected to be what it is. Uh, I I started like, I don't know, a year and a half to, oh God, time goes by, maybe 2 years ago, posting book reviews because I like to read.
Yeah.
And so I just like post a book review here and there. And then more and more people were asking me, hey, do you have a book club? Are you starting a book club? Tell me what you're reading next. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Because I feel like reading by way because of our phones and everything that people are just stuck on their phones all the time. I feel like people have just started reading less and less. And I'm like, man, I love to read because I don't want to deal with people and I like being in like a different world. And it's a really great, I guess, almost escape from reality, or it's a great opportunity to like learn things, you know what I mean? So I started posting book reviews and then people were like, start a book club. And I was like, all right, screw it. I'll start a book club. I don't know what this means, but cool. So I decided to make it like the simplest book club possible. It's very non-committal. I post 2 books a month. One is going to be generally something fun. One is going to be something kind of learning based. And you can read at whatever pace you want. If it takes you 6 months to read a book, cool. If you want to read a book from 2 months ago, awesome. Like I do not care what capacity you're reading as long as you're reading something. And then post a review, tag me in it, cool, or don't. Tell me you liked the book, awesome. Or don't. Like it's honestly, it's really all good as long as people are reading. And like the fact that people are like, hey, I started reading for the first time in 10 years. I'm like, oh my God, this is the best thing of my life. I'm so happy right now. That's I'm just stoked that people are reading now and reading more and they like the book club, they like the reviews, and I get to engage with people about something really cool that's kind of out of the norm. It's yeah, book club has become something really special to me.
Yeah, that's so cool. And I think it's really nice to hear from somebody that's like an elite athlete at the top of like their sport, so at the top of HYROX. And because a lot of people, like you said, do associate their identity with their sport and their life becomes the sport and it's like everything's about training and competing and doing everything for that sport. So to have something that takes you away from it and is like a passion that, yeah, removes you from a screen, removes the stress, allows you to relax and take yourself away is I think it's a cool balance to see, yeah, an elite athlete like talking about that side of, I don't know, like I guess kind of just being a more all-rounded and supporting yourself to just get through life and
Hey, that
you
is
know,
like exactly
I
it.
don't know what I'm trying to say, but that's
No,
I think
no,
you
it
might have
makes
caught on
sense.
to what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
No, that made total sense. It's like it's all well and good to be really, really committed to your sport, but if you don't have other things in your life that bring you joy and fulfillment, oh my God, you're like that's a recipe for disaster.
Yeah.
Because as soon as you have like one shitty race, you're like, oh my God, the world's crashing out around me. Who am I? Is this, what am I doing? Like, is everything like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's,
yeah, that's exactly what I'm trying to say. It's like,
yeah.
yeah, something goes wrong and races don't go to plan. But
Or you
if
get
that's,
injured.
yeah, and if that's everything, you
Yeah.
know, Katie gets injured, she just reads more books, more reviews, you know, she's like,
Yeah.
bring it on. It's, you know, you might be able to go
Yeah.
cycling and then you can go cycling in the mountains. And it's really nice to hear that balance, I guess, the balanced approach to life, but also competing at the highest level. It shows it can be done. It doesn't have to be all consuming to compete at that level where a lot of, I'd say, like the YouTube videos and Instagrams now, they're like, right, if you're not all in, if you're not all committed, if it's not everything and 100%, you're never going to make it, blah, 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 you know? So it's
Yeah.
nice that
Dude,
you're
yes.
offering another avenue to say it is actually okay to sit down with a book sometimes and have a cup of tea and or coffee, because I'm guessing you probably don't drink tea in Canada as much as
I
we do
drink
in
lots of
Britain.
tea, lots of coffee.
Okay, then you know
No,
it is okay, and then you can do that and also compete at that level. I think it's a really valuable, yeah, lesson.
But I have to ask that the books, I am awful at reading books. I never ever read.
Sometimes you do, sometimes
Uh,
you do.
dubious. But I do like an audiobook. So, you know, do they often come in the audiobook version as well for listening when running, or is it more the, I don't know, do all books come as audiobooks now? No.
okay,
Uh,
not all of them, but damn near close.
yeah.
Okay.
And like I mean maybe I should do this with the book reviews is specify if I also listen to the audiobook and
Oh
if it
yeah.
was good or not because most of the audiobooks are really good. but every so often you'll get a narrator that just makes you want to like throw your phone through a window because they
This is
suck.
Yeah, I said that to Em. I listened to one like not too long ago. It was really good. Then I listened to another one that Em suggested, and I was like, "You're gonna hate the narrator. Like, you're not gonna be able to listen to it." I feel like I can. Em's really funny with
I
like
am so,
different
yeah.
accents. You're so specific about who
If
you
it
can listen
annoys
to.
me, then nah, sorry, I can't do it.
Oh, I'm the same way. I listened to an audiobook for one of the book club books the other month, and the narrator talked so slow and had the most boring voice. I listened to it on double speed.
Yeah, I was
And
gonna
it's
say.
still, I was like, this is still slow. Like, how could I listen to this on normal speed? Who talks this slow? Dude, spit it out. Uh,
You're
but
like trying to finish his sentences.
Like, come on. You cannot listen to that on like a fast tempo run, can you? You'd be like, oh my God. Oh dear.
no. No, I'll
Oh,
recommend some audiobooks to you that are awesome, that are
okay.
so good. Yeah, that you'll just love. You actually like turn it off and you're like, wait, where am I? What was I doing?
Yeah, okay.
What is the real world again? Because you're
Yeah.
so immersed in it, right? Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I love that. Love that. See, there is something for everyone. um, well, I think that probably brings us nicely to round off for today. The last question that we have for you would be, um, if you were like your younger self, like what advice would or message would you give or would you give to the next generation of girls that are coming up into this world?
So I would tell my younger self, or I guess any young girl that's trying to do something like this, set your goals. Goals are really, really important. Set them. But once they're set, do everything you can to be so present in what you're doing every single day. Because if you're so focused on the end goal, then you miss everything you're doing in between, and everything you're doing in between is the whole point. Like once you hit the goal, cool, you've hit it, but now what, right? Like it's, I mean, so metaphorically, but it's like the journey up the mountain. That's the best part. Getting to the top of the mountain, you're like, cool, cool. You're here for 5 minutes. It's really cool. The views are amazing. It's windy though, and you're like, okay, I'm ready to go back down. I'm hungry. So enjoy that journey. Be really present because it's going to go by so quickly. And those moments through that journey are going to be what you can look back on and hone in on. Like if you look back on your life and all you can remember or think about is whether or not you're standing on top of a podium, like that's honestly kind of going to suck. It's all the moments in between and all those relationships and moments with the important people that are the ones that are going to bring you joy and fulfillment. So if you can't even think about those, like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Such a good message. So good. Like,
Yeah, it's true, isn't it? And it's like who you
yeah.
go with as well. Like you were saying, meeting Chris, and along the way, now you're a doubles partnership, and it's just like those kind of journeys and looking back on, staying up until 1 a.m. in the morning before you compete the next day. That's the things that stick out, isn't it, to you?
But it is like when I think about the weekend we qualified for Elite 15 Worlds, the first thing I think about is me like staring at the ceiling laughing because Chris is losing her shit over math. Like that's the first thing I think about,
Yeah,
not like, oh, hell yeah, we qualified.
yeah,
So it really is those moments that are the most significant.
Yeah. I
yeah,
love
so
that.
good.
And then where can everyone find you and the book club and follow your journey and see how you get on this coming season in HYROX? What's the best place to find you?
Instagram for sure. It's my only social media. It is my name, Kayti Simonson, Kayti. Yeah, super simple.
Perfect.
Yeah,
We'll
that's
put
it.
it all in the show notes. But oh, thank you so much. It's been so nice to chat to you. We finally made it happen. We've planned this 3 times, guys. So there's been a lot of time difference, a lot of travel, a lot of things going on, but we're really glad that we did manage to catch up with you. And we wish you all the best in your High Rock season coming up.
Thank you.